Weaponeer here, and I'm back with another review, and this time it's going to be on the Trench Hawk. This right here is another product from Cold Steel. And it's also another product I tested out in the field. Now, I use this, once again, at the camp and shoots that we host monthly. And this is another item that performed a whole lot better than I figured. Now, I do have another Tomahawk, and it's the SOG. Now, the one thing about Tomahawks is, they typically have the same basic features. If you're looking for, more of a combat style, which is this one right here. On the SOG Fusion, it also has the spike and it has the cutting edge. Now, you got to remember, a Tomahawk or a hawk is basically designed so it's a knife, it's an axe. It's it can be used to go ahead and skin a deer. These are multi-purpose tools. It can be used for self-defense, where you can go ahead and parry and hook and anything else. And also go ahead and brain you pretty good too. This one right here, like I said, this is the Cold Steel model, and they did an excellent job on the sheath on here. This is a very well done sheath. Just goes ahead and unsnaps, and then you just lift it right off. The sheath is very well thought out because it's an articulated sheath, and it works very well. I do wish that it had some kind of molly on it or something like that. Basically, you can just go ahead and tie it to your gear, and it'll work like that. This is 19 inches tall. This is a good sized Tomahawk. This is razor sharp. That's one thing about Cold Steel, is all their gear is extremely sharp, and this is no exception. This right here is very sharp. The Hawk is 8 3/4. The edge, 3 1/2. It's drop forged with a 1055, and that's a carbon steel, and probably a medium carbon. I'm not positive, but 24 ounces, so it's got some weight to it, a couple pounds. And it's not really sharpened on the pointy end here, and it is lightly sharpened, but it's more like a pick. You're not going to cut yourself sharp, but it's got a little bit of an edge on it. But the actual cutting edge here, that is extremely sharp. This works very well as a knife, and it's a little awkward, but you can use it as that. I did sharpen sticks and everything else, and formed pieces in parts and everything else I was trying to do at the camps. One thing I really like about this is it's got these finger grooves right here, and that really allows you to get a really good grip right here. And if you got a really good grip, it's not going to slide out or anything like that. You can really go ahead and do some really nice carving with it. And I did not expect that either. Another feature of the Cold Steel is, once again, we've got 2 bolts here. You remove those 2 bolts, and you're able to go ahead and replace this handle. And the handles are about $6.99. Not too bad. This is a polypropylene handle. And also the sheath is as well. Let's see. What else can I tell you about this? Well, the handle itself does get wider at the base here, and that allows you to be able to use this without it feeling like it's going to fall out of your hand. The SOG Fusion is one of those that always felt it was going to fly out of my hand, and in order to go ahead and fix that one, I had to heat stipple it. And so I did spend some time, and I heat stippled the handle, and now it works beautifully. But I had to modify it. Now this one right here, I'll probably go ahead and heat stipple. Not because it needs it, but because I really think adding a little bit more texture to it is going to add a little bit more feel, and especially when wearing gloves or when it's cold out. And basically, I'm just going to go ahead and heat stipple from here to here to here to here, not on the flats, because that way the 2 areas that you're going to be grabbing a hold of, you're able to go ahead and have that extra traction. It's really hard when your hand is cold and wet to get a really good grip. You don't know exactly how much pressure you're applying if your hand is numb. Now, if it's got the rougher texture on there, you're able to go ahead and hang on to this a lot easier. Or if the handle's wet, or you're wearing wet gloves, or wearing gloves and the handle's wet, a lot of times it feels like it's going to fly out of your hands. It's not safe. This one right here doesn't feel like that. This right here has that large handle here. So, you know, I like the handle, but if you're able to go ahead and heat stipple it, you just have that better security. It's not something you'd have to have, but it's nice to do. That's if you like heat stippling. Just provides a little bit rougher texture. That's all it does. Now, this right here does work very well. I was able to go ahead and split wood with this. I was able to carve with it, use it as a knife. It can be very easily used as a defensive instrument or an offensive instrument if need be. Once again, you know, you can really brain somebody with this thing. And if that don't work, well, I'm pretty sure that you go ahead and chop them in half with that. That's very effective. It's very well balanced. I mean, there's guys out there that go ahead and they sell $800, $1,000 hawks. I'm sorry, but I can buy a whole lot of these for the price of one of them. And this right here is basically just as good. I mean, I don't have to have an equally balanced hawk. That's got the perfect balance to it. This right here can be thrown and stuck just like any other one. And trust me, I've done it. So this right here, nice and thick. You got to be very careful, but you can go ahead and pound in some steaks like that. I do wish it had a piece of steel on the side here, going from like the top down to the handle here. And the reason I say that is then you could go ahead and use it more of a hammer to hammer in tent pegs and things like that. It makes it that much more usable and useful. But as it is, you can still do it if you're careful this way, and still go ahead and get your wood, especially the small wood. I use like a Celtic kettle, and it doesn't take a whole lot of wood, so you're able to go ahead and use one of these and get your wood in very short order and just the right size. So that's mainly why I really like it that much better. This right here is a better hawk than the SOG Fusion. This is a lot thicker, got a little bit more heft to it. They both have good points, but I think this is the better designed one. So, and once again, it's affordable. So if you have any comments or questions about this right here, which is the Trench Hawk, feel free to post it below. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to rate my videos. I'm Weaponeer, and I'll catch you in the next one. What you want? Come on.